The best cheap smartwatches we've reviewed and ranked here are great because they don't sacrifice much in order to keep their prices down. While they may not have every feature under the sun, they're all more than enough wrist tech for most people, all at a price that won't have you remortgaging your house. Built with a matte textured plastic chassis, the bip transitions nicely into a slightly curved slate of Corning Gorilla Glass on top of its colored, pixelated display. Moving around the tracker's interface is done on the touchscreen, but waking it with the side button is mandatory. This design choice might seem like an annoyance, though it's defensible when you realize how easy it can be to accidentally swipe the screen when you're working out. Speaking more on the glossy button on its side, clicking it triggers an animation to wipe across the screen, indicating that you've woken it. The built-in settings allow you to designate a task that launches when you press and hold the button. Things like outdoor running, cycling, treadmill, or walking are the only options available now, but the list could grow in the future. Once the bip is unlocked, you have free access to slide your finger around, each direction venturing into different features. Sliding down reveals your connection status, battery level, and lets you toggle a Do Not Disturb mode that disables notifications of any kind. Swiping up shows you various notifications that have come through your phone, like text messages or alerts for Twitter. Nothing happens when you slide from the right side, but moving left reveals one of 7 tiles, which can be rearranged in the Mi Fit companion app. Here, you'll find the status section, giving you a deep dive on steps taken, heart rate, distance traveled, etc. Some of the built-in watch faces reveal this info without any interaction whatsoever, so your use may vary for this view. There are 6 models of the Huawei watch available. They come in combinations of black, stainless steel, and rose gold plated watch cases with black leather, steel link, stainless steel mesh, black plated link, alligator pressed brown leather, or rose gold plated link bracelets. Even in its least expensive configuration, the Huawei watch looks very attractive. The stainless steel case and physical crown almost hide the fact that it's a smartwatch, which is fine by me. Similar to the Moto 360 and the LG Watch Urbane, the Huawei watch looks more like a classic watch and less like an unfashionable gizmo on your wrist. The stitched black leather wristband definitely helps in that regard, too. The whole package just looks classy. Huawei's round watch face measures 1.7 inches wide and 0.44 inches thick. That's a slightly smaller diameter than the 1.8-inch Moto 360, but the exact same thickness. 0.1 inch might not sound like a big difference, but when you put the Huawei watch and Moto 360 next to each other, you can really see the difference. The Huawei watch is also lighter, coming in at 2.13 ounces compared with the 3.28 ounce Moto 360. Rounding out the design is a physical crown at the 2 o'clock position that powers the watch on or off, and if you hold it down for a second, the Android Wear settings page will open, which is a nice shortcut. I like this design decision much more than the traditional 3 o'clock spot because it keeps the knob from digging into your wrist when you check the time. A heart rate monitor sits on the underside of the watch face. The watch is rated IP67 for water resistance, which means it can withstand splashes at the sink. But you'll want to take it off before you go into the ocean, pool, or shower, especially if you're wearing a leather band. The Z Time is a handsome watch. Its big, bright face is covered in sapphire glass and encased in stainless steel, with prominent golden hands that tell time just like a traditional watch, no poking, prodding, tapping or fiddling. It is available in 2 sizes, a standard 1.22-inch model with a 240 by 240 high-resolution TFT display, and a 1.05-inch petite model with the same resolution display. The larger of the 2 models weighs 3 ounces, which is on the heavy side, but it was comfortable enough for me to forget I was wearing it most of the time as I went about my daily activities, such as commuting, working at my desk, running errands, hiking, doing jumping jacks, and trekking up and down the stairs from my desk to the kitchen for coffee. That said, I found the Z Time a tad thick, as I kept bumping it and getting it caught on things. Luckily, the sapphire glass is super hard and durable, and my watch emerged unscathed, none the worse after weeks of fairly constant wear, including sleeping. The Z Time is water resistant to 5 ATM, which translates to 50 meters, so it will not be damaged by going out in the rain, showering or swimming in shallow water. Still, you should avoid wearing it while doing water sports like scuba diving, ocean swimming and water skiing. The design of the Garmin Forerunner 30 is exactly the same as that of the 35, a glass rectangle, with thick bezels surrounding a 0.93-inch diameter screen. On the sides are 4 buttons for navigating the menus. The screen is incredibly clear, and in comparison to thinner devices like the Fitbit Alta HR, there's plenty of screen real estate for displaying all your metrics, which is particularly important mid-run when you've got sweat in your eyes and want to quickly glance at your device. The unit itself is relatively thick, needing as it does to fit in the buttons, the electrics, and the sensors on the underside. This becomes a bit of an issue when it comes to sleep tracking, as we found it a distracting presence, causing us to wake up in the night. The unit is held on your wrist with silicone straps, connected using a metal clasp and a loop that holds down the surplus strap. When putting it on, we often found that this loop caught our arm hairs, which was pretty unpleasant, although by no means a deal breaker. The Garmin Forerunner 30 is definitely one of Garmin's more fashionable units, but still looks very much like a run tracker. The boxy shape and large on-screen text would look incongruous with a nice suit or on a night out. The benefits of the large clear text massively outweigh the negatives, though. It's easy to read, and the combinations of icons, numbers and labels mean you're never in any doubt about what you're looking at. It's ideal if you're trying to work in a specific heart rate zone, or aiming for a specific pace per mile and don't want to spend the entire time staring at your wrist. The style features a 1.2-inch plastic OLED display with a resolution of 360 by 360 for 299 pixels per inch. You can see some graininess if you look very closely, but for the most part, colors are vibrant and text is easy to read. The round stainless steel case measures 1.7 inches across and 0.4 inch deep, which is pretty standard for slimmer, fashionable watches. Compared with the Zen Watch 3, the style's look is more female-friendly. This is thanks in part to the case's brushed metal finish, which gives it a softer feel. The Zen Watch 3 is also limited to a darker, more masculine color palette. The style, meanwhile, gives you 3 color options: rose gold, silver, and titanium dot. And even though both watches are roughly the same size and thickness, the style's simpler case never dominates your wrist, a huge perk if you're small-boned. The one downside is that the default strap isn't made from quality leather. It feels more like styrofoam to the touch, and started to crinkle around the buckle after just a few days of wear. At the 3 o'clock position, you'll find a dial you can press to access the home screen, twist to read through notifications, or hold down to call up Google Assistant. As with the LG Sport, the dial is an elegant solution to the endless swiping and scrolling that made the first iteration of Android Wear so tedious. Though depending on how high you wear the watch on your arm, it's easy to accidentally hit the button with the back of your hand or sleeve. It's a quibble, but it gets old when you've checked your wrist only to see you've accidentally summoned Google Assistant for the 20th time.